Today, I'm going to cover another monkey branching story. And this is one that's very unique. You see, in this particular case, she left him for her boss. I guess she just wanted a promotion. Let's break it down, shall we? It's going to be a long one. I'm going to keep his name private and refer to him as Jimmy. So Jimmy says, "Hey Christian, I've been binge watching your videos because I can relate so much. I hope you get more views and subscribers because you're full of wisdom. What you tell in your videos hurts me so much because it's true, but I need them. Now I'm able to see things from a different perspective, so let me share my story. It's a long one, so bear with me." Well, thank you for your kind words. Here's our background. We met during the start of our senior high school. We went to different schools. Half a year later, we are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. I can still remember when she called me, when she said to me, "Finally you're mine, and no one can take you away from me." That was a wonderful day. We've been dating for over 4 years, and then it's suddenly over. It ended in the worst possible way. She monkey branched and left me for her boss. It was one of the most shocking and devastating parts of my life. I still clearly remember when my hands were shaking, where I couldn't manage to sit down and my heart was beating heavily. It was so horrible that I couldn't sleep and eat for the next 2 days. I blamed myself for what happened. I compared myself to the guy that she cheated with and told myself that he was far more better than me. Plus, he belongs to the middle class. This was over a month ago, and I can see things far more better now. And this is how it started. So he sent me this one back in November, and I've always filtered through different ones, and some of them I save and I select for later on. And he has kept in touch with me. He did send me a follow-up email in December as well. So let's continue on with Jimmy's story. So he's given us a little summary thus far, basically explaining that she monkey branched and left him for her boss, and that he's been with her for a total of 4 years. And he explained the trauma, how painful it was when he found out initially. And let's see what else he's got to say about his background. During our first year of senior high school, I'm going to refer to her as Jessica. Me and Jessica are attending different schools. So basically we aren't able to meet that much. But we call each other and text each other whenever we have free time. Then my classmate introduced me to his friend, which is a girl. We shook hands. I found the girl beautiful, but I never acted or talked to her again. My classmate, who would push me to court her, but I know that my heart already decided on who to love. She later found out about this, his girlfriend at the time, Jessica, and got mad at me and said it was cheating. You didn't do anything, you just shook her hand. I said sorry, and I truly am, and that's all there is. And from that moment on, I stopped touching any girl's hand, including handshakes, unless necessary for dancing for school projects. Then a few months later, after we'd been official, I discovered that she was letting a guy court her. What a coinkydink. Red flag number 1. Letting a guy court her. She even arranged and gave him a surprise birthday party in school, and I found this because I saw her post the photos of him and celebrating his birthday. I'm like, what? And I was furious and summoned my friends and told them that we should beat the guy. But I realized that was wrong. You did calm down. Vengeance is in your hands. That's in God's hands. He'll take care of that. That is funny though. Gonna get my friends together, we're gonna beat this guy. It's never the matsy, and a lot of young men, especially when it's their first girlfriend, they don't know any better. You can never be mad or angry at the other man. Unless it's someone you know, like a friend, something like that. If he's a stranger or any other guy, understand the betrayal is always the fault of your partner. Because a faithful woman, it doesn't matter how many men throw her glances, hit on her, or attempt to get to know her, if she's loyal, she's only got her heart for you, it doesn't matter how many times they try, she's going to shut them down every single time, and she will let you know. But you see, when a woman is a little bit immature, maybe a narcissist, isn't really into you for you, has settled for you, is using you, is emotionally damaged, has some type of character or personality flaw, then yes, this type of girl will see nothing wrong with allowing another man into her life. You see, another man can only grow close to your woman if she opens the door, if she tolerates his flirting, if she accepts his invitation. She has to allow him in. Do you understand that? Can you look, if you're a faithful man watching this, or a faithful lady, you know this all too well. How many times have people tried to hit on you when you're in a committed relationship? You don't give them 2 glances. You don't interact with them. You don't add them on social media. You don't talk any more than necessary if you bump into them in person. You turn the other way because you're faithful to your partner. You don't give your presence and your undivided attention to a member of the opposite sex when you're in a relationship. And especially if that particular person is showing you clear indicators that they're into you, because you don't want to disrespect or lose your partner if they see you behaving inappropriately. So you can't blame or get angry at the guy and say, I'm going to get my friends together, we're going to beat this guy up. I mean, yeah, sure, it sounds great in the movies, but in the real world that doesn't work. That's how you create unnecessary drama and get yourself into trouble. Just remember, if you're watching this, if you catch your partner grown close to a member of the opposite sex, it is always your partner's fault. They opened the door and allowed them in to build a connection, to bond with them. Because they wanted to cheat. They wanted to line up a replacement. Do you understand that? And if it wasn't with that person, it would be with someone else. They would find someone who'd be willing to get to know them. So don't get angry at the other person, which is still immoral. They still have low morality and poor standards to interact with someone who's in a relationship in the first place. But yet it is your partner who is in a relationship, who is doing such a thing, who's to blame. Had to give you that in-depth breakdown. Now let's continue on. So I was going to beat that guy up with my friends, but then I realised that was wrong. So I chose to talk things out with her. That's much better. She said, oh, I didn't know he was courting me. She's playing you for a fool. Of course, as I'm stupid in love, I said to myself that this girl is innocent and she didn't know, so it wasn't her fault. I just said to her, avoid him at all costs. At that point, the only smart thing to do would be to just dump her and walk away. She's shown you she's untrustworthy. Then I read their messages and the guy admits his feelings for her. He also has a wingman. It didn't affect me so much because in my mind I was convinced that she was innocent and she didn't know what she was doing. Months after this, she changed her Facebook wallpaper to a group picture with that guy beside her. And I was mad. Further evidence she doesn't respect or love you. If she truly made a mistake and felt really bad and was repentant, do you know what a good woman would do? Not that. Common sense. She would do everything in her power. She'd show you through deed, through choice, through word, everything to prove to you that she would never do such a thing again if she loves you and doesn't want to lose you. Doesn't sound like she cares too much about that, does it? So she posted a group picture with that guy beside, and I was mad. I didn't talk to her about it until months later, when she still didn't remove the picture. But then eventually she did. Why did you wait for months? Especially if she knows that you've seen it, she internally gets confirmation that you were completely weak. Even though she doesn't care about you or love you. In terms of taking advantage of you, she knows she's got like almost a free card to keep doing it, because you're just going to keep tolerating her bad behavior. Because a man with principles is going to say to her, wait a minute, the second he sees it, wait a minute, we had this conversation. You were lucky enough to be graced with an extra chance to stay with me. And what have you done with that chance I gave you? You go and you keep interacting with that guy. So do you know what we're going to do? We're going to terminate this connection we have here. Good riddance. And that's the end of the story. That's where it should have ended. But clearly that was back in high school, and then she ends up cheating on you with her boss. So this woman is just increasing her level of unfaithfulness. She's just getting better at it. I mean, she's doing the self-improvement for the wrong things. Let's continue on. But now thinking about it, how come me shaking hands with a girl is considered cheating, even though I have no other intentions with that girl? And her accepting this guy to call her, and he even arranged a surprise birthday party, is not considered cheating, because she's playing you and you're not leading the relationship. You're going off of her emotions and her words, what she's doing. You're being passive, you're not being overt and direct. That's the problem. So later, once you calm down and your rationale kicks in, then you think about it and it makes sense. Once again, I said to myself, she's innocent and she doesn't know what she's doing. A year passed and she's more controlling. There you have it. Because she knows you're weak, she's just going to increase whatever she's doing to you because she knows she can. And you're not going to tell her no. And even if you do, you're going to be so soft about it. What's it going to matter? The power dynamic shifted heavily and I was becoming the beta male. She's the one that she's the one that chooses my friends for me, and I can only talk to a few people. Come on, man. She unfriended all of my female friends on Facebook except for my family. And she's jealous more than ever. She's more clingy, and my time that I spend for myself is a no-no for her. No me time, only we time. Yeah, now she's really controlling you. The fact that you're letting her is just further proof that she has you by the balls. Look, I know in this case this woman isn't a good one, but a good traditional virtuous woman, let's say she tried to test you just to see how you'd react, if she could control you, if she felt like she could, and that you'd give her your power, she'd lose all respect for you. Because she knows you can't lead yourself, you can't stand up for yourself. So there's no way you're leading her in any direction in the future. That's good. Only in the bad path. And in this case, you got a bad girl. She's controlling you. So she's just setting herself up to abuse you even more. She's just keeping you around for attention, because this is what damaged women do. Remember, good women that are emotionally stable seek your presence, only yours. Women that are emotionally unstable or have other issues seek attention from you and from everyone else in the world. Whether they are strangers, whether it's family, it's the boyfriend, it doesn't matter. For everyone and anyone. And this is what you're going to start to see. And guess what? I loved it. It was like my dream, and I loved her being in control because I believe that she's doing that because she loves me so much. You definitely became too relationship focused and effeminate in the relationship. She kind of like sucked the manhole out of you. Moving forward to college, we attended the same school, or we're getting close now to the boss level. Moving forward moving forward to college, we attended the same school. Now more boundaries are set. No talking to the opposite gender unless about important things. No adding or accepting Facebook friends that belong to the opposite gender. Well, guess what? I followed it and she doesn't. You know why? Because she set the rules. You know why? Because she already emotionally betrayed you with the guy when you were back in high school. You stayed in the relationship. Time went on. And guess what? She's revealed her character to you. She revealed her nature. And now you're giving her another chance. She was already started to control you, telling you no, you time, just only we time, so she could monitor you and micromanage you. And now it's worse because you stayed in the relationship. Of course she's not going to follow it. And what are you going to do about it? Zero. Because she knows she's in control, she's in the lead. Okay, she's in the driver's seat, you're in the passenger seat. She owns the land and you're ploughing the field. You're just a slave. Well, guess what? I followed it and she doesn't. Then later, my college professor adds her on Facebook and she accepts him. Violation of set boundaries. Well, of course, what else did I do? I let it pass because he's my professor and she's innocent. Obviously, you think, oh, well, it's just a teacher, what's going to happen? Then later, my professor hits on her. He's chatting to her and saying, "Hi, beautiful, how's my princess?" And she loves it. How romantic. You know what? At least Jimmy has a good attitude about it. And that's really the way to be. You put yourself in a bad situation, all the malice and degeneracy of her heart is coming out in her behaviour because you chose to stay in the relationship. But at least you've had this experience young and you are never going to let this happen to you again. Then she accepts the friend request of her male classmates again, violating her boundaries. At this point, my self-esteem is taking a hit and it's getting worse. I didn't notice that time, but I now realize that it was because of this. I chose not to fight because I know she's innocent. Again, she's not. Not a single time. She's been to blame in each scenario you've presented thus far. Fast forward to the pandemic. When it hit our country, he didn't actually mention where it's from. And Jessica's dad lost his job. Now we get into the family background. Just what I was waiting for. Stephanie's dad lost his job. They have no money to pay the bills. Her brother became a drug user. Her sister became self-centered. And when it doesn't come her way, she curses her family. That's lovely. That's just nice. Her mother started to have an affair. I hate that word. She started to cheat and betray. Don't romanticize betrayal. She started to cheat. Okay, since Jessica's dad was an alcoholic and doesn't have a job and doesn't care for his family. That still doesn't justify. If she's unhappy, she can try and work it out with the husband. If he's abusive and he's just a deadbeat, she tries, separate. It doesn't work. Then if she chooses, she can divorce amicably. But obviously, you can see, like daughter, like mother, where did the old Jessica get this whole cheating strategy from? Well, from her mother, of course. She witnessed the blueprint firsthand. When your needs aren't met, instead of working it out with your partner or leave like a respectful human being, just line up a replacement. Just cheat. Obviously, she comes from a dysfunctional home, and you can see it. The head of the house is crumbling. He's addicted to alcohol. He doesn't lead his family. He doesn't provide financially, emotionally, any structure, any rules, any sense of, morality, any values they should follow. Nothing. He obviously doesn't care about his wife either. And look at what it's doing to the family. All the kids are screwed up. Childhood trauma 101. As time goes by, their situation got worse until she needed to find a job. And of course, as a loving and blind boyfriend, I found a job for her and referred it to her. She started working early of June this year, well, June 2021 now. And this is where real things start to get more serious. We're warming up now, we're getting closer. After a week, Jessica told me that her co-worker offered her a part-time job because her boss, let's call him Domingo, which is Sunday in Spanish. So her boss, he's using a fake name, Domingo, so I'll use the same one. Domingo was looking for someone else to tutor his kid. I said no at first, since her work time is over 12 hours, but she said she needed the money, so I agreed. And oh boy, well, cheating will happen anyway, he says. That's actually pretty funny, because he knows. I mean, obviously this has all happened in the past, a while back, and when he wrote it to me. But he's writing it with a bit of humour. He's not bitter or resentful. He's got a good attitude. That's a good sign of someone who's healthy, of a sound mind. So, oh boy, well, cheating will happen anyway. I was busy this time studying hard. I was so inspired that I can study many hours a day. Good man. I need to straighten out a bit here. I'm not slouched over like this when I'm reading the email. After accepting that part-time job, Jessica started to become distant. Intimacy is gone. Requesting a kiss makes a man. You shouldn't have to request a kiss. Your woman should be running in your arms. Now, obviously, I'm speaking to the men watching that have a good girl at home or are single and learning. In this case, with a woman that's treating you this way, obviously it's expected. But even then, if you are in a relationship and you've been with a woman for so many years, technically she should have pair bonded and built a deep-rooted emotional connection to where she's head over heels. And especially if you're masculine, you lead, you do everything right. She feels safe, she opens up emotionally. She should be wanting to be embraced by you, to feel you physically as much as possible. And you don't need to request a kiss. This isn't like ordering food. You don't need to do that. You should never request. She should naturally want to do it. You know, and plus her body's language, she'll give off signs and cues that she wants you to touch her and kiss her. When she looks at your lips, when she smiles, when she gets very, very close to you, then it's appropriate to go in. It's just common sense. So you don't never need to request that. Requesting a kiss makes her mad. She flinches when I touch her, and so much more. Weeks goes by, and her cousin would post these pictures of her with Domingo, attending birthdays, riding motorcycles, which obviously she would have to hug him in order not to fall down. So she's partaking in activities with this man in which she has to be physical. So we know she emotionally cheated on you with a guy in high school. When she was in college, the teacher was calling her high princess and beautiful when she was enjoying it and loving it. So that's 2 strikes. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, you can't get fooled again. But in your case, fool me twice, shame on you. And that's where you're stuck in. But now, it's not even 2, it's 3. This is the 3rd time coming. You've got 2 lives down, 1 life left. So he's picking her up after work and taking her home. Once again, I did nothing because I trust her so much. You trust this particular woman? You trust this particular woman after she's emotionally betrayed you twice. I did nothing because I trust her so much and I know she wouldn't betray me. Plus she always says she loves me. Oh, that's okay. Because her words matter so much when her actions have spoken volumes as to how she really feels about you. My whole family knows Jessica because I always invite her whenever there's an occasion. But she never invited me or introduced me to her family. Well, you know how dysfunctional hers is. But Domingo is always invited. Well, despite her family being so abusive and so screwed up, she's going to still invite that stranger before she invites you. That tells you how she really feels about you. He knows her whole family, and I remember that one time I asked her that maybe she could introduce me to her sister, so at least someone of her family knows that I'm her boyfriend. But she said no. Well, if she doesn't want to introduce you to her family, she doesn't want any surprises when she brings someone else over. And then they say, who are you? Then you turn around and say, well, I've been her boyfriend for 4 years. They're like, bro, we just heard about you today. There's different men coming and going, bro. Sorry, buddy. But you'd be that guy. That's why she's not going to tell you. Why? Why go through the hassle? If she's just using you for attention and you're just feeding her ego, you're just like a penis in a glass jar that she has somewhere. You know, she just smashes the glass and uses it when she's bored. That's really what you are. But you allowed yourself to become that because you've stayed. So you do have a part to play there. You've got to take ownership. So yeah, that's why she hasn't introduced you. Doesn't care about you. Why bother? If she's going to get rid of you at some point anyway, when something else comes along, and then have to tell her whole family, no, what's the point? She said, I'll introduce you once you're an engineer. So yeah, so that's right, you were studying your engineer degree. So in other words, she's saying that she's confirming to you she's a gold digger and a user. Because a good woman, she's going to love you because she finds you attractive. And once she got to know you, because of the way you are, personality, your character, your heart, obviously your studies, your career, your business, whatever you're doing is a cherry on top, because it brings out who you are as a man. You're ambitious, you've got something you're passionate about, something that you focus on, your sense of purpose and duty. That's amazing. Every man should have that. And she should respect you and honour your achievements and what you do, 100%. Yet, that's not the reason why a woman should be for you. She should be with you for you as a man, not for what you do. Sounds like you got yourself a gold digger here. So, you think she's really attracted to this Domingo guy? I think not. She's also using him because obviously that guy's he's a boss. He's got money, and she feels like she can use that because her family is in a dire condition, and she can escape from her poverty and use another man and just suck him dry. But again, that tells you everything. Oh, I'll introduce you once you're an engineer. In other words, you're not good enough as is, Jimmy. Jimmy is this sweet guy. Hey mum, hey dad. You know, I basically cheated on this guy twice emotionally. He was kind enough to give me 2 chances, but you know what? I'm not going to introduce him to you until he's an engineer. Come on, man. It made me happy at least and gave me some reassurance that I'll get to know them. Why? Why would you want to get to know them? Basically, she's feeding me scraps and I thought I was eating the whole cake. I mean, the scraps she's feeding you, she probably spat in them before she gave them to you. I can still remember the picture where Jessica spent time with 4 guys in a house wearing the necklace that I gave her. It was heartbreaking. I remember giving that to her, and it was on the 23rd of December. I put all of my extra allowance just to buy that necklace. When I gave it to her and I said, wear this because this would remind you of me. She was blushing and so happy that night. But seeing her wearing that most special thing I gave to her and spending time in Domingo's house with 3 other guys hurt me so much. But again, I didn't do anything. Let me just confirm something. While it is true that yes, you do buy girl, you can and you should from time to time buy a gift or a present if a woman is your girlfriend or your wife, on conditions such as birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, or other special occasions, and here and there as a surprise, providing her behavior is good towards you. And if she's a good woman, she'll be giving you gifts as well. But all in all, the biggest gift must be you. That's what she must value the most. But given the fact this woman has betrayed you twice emotionally, she should be getting 0 gifts. 0. Tells you how much she appreciates it. Look at what she's doing. She's wearing it when she's out with other guys. Who gave that to you? Oh, some friend, some guy who studies engineering. Don't worry, she'll tell them that you're the boyfriend once you get the degree. That's who she is. Until the night of the 16th of October of 2021, I saw a picture of her with Domingo's arms wrapped around her. And then I saw their messages, only 2 days worth of messages. She's obviously deleting them to hide it from me. They were calling each other love, talking about giving BJs. Can't say the full word here. When I saw it, I felt nothing. I said to myself, maybe I'm just mistaking this for something. I logged back into my Facebook and saw her message me saying, "Hi, my love, with lots of I love you so much and lots of kisses." I thought it was sweet. Then I cannot take it anymore, so I confronted her. "Ooh, are his balls growing back? Let's find out." And I said, "Are you flirting with this man?" She replied with, "I'm going to sleep." That's how much she respects you. You ask her a rational question, I'm going to, like, she talks to you like you're the slave. "I'm going to sleep," right? Shut up, slave. That's it. Because you stay. This is why you never stay with someone who's betrayed you. You never. Because they get comfortable again, and then they start looking at you as dirt that they can step on. And then you get phrases like this, "I'm going back to sleep." And then you're waiting there like a butler. I was shocked. I was in huge disbelief. I'm not. She changed her passwords. She said that we should know each other's, so I also agreed. I was shocked. I was in huge disbelief. Again, I'm not. I called her, but she never answered. Next morning at 5 a.m, I waited outside her house. When she came out, I asked her to talk. Well, at least you didn't wait with your friends to beat her. Next morning, 5 a.m, I waited outside her house. She came out, I asked to talk to her, but she said later, "I'll go to your place after my work." And I was looking into her eyes, but I can't recognize her. It seems like I was looking at a different person. Her eyes were so cold. She's been the same person all along. It's just you who couldn't see it. I waited till night, but Jessica never came. She messaged me and said, "Wait for me, my love." I was so happy that she called me that you need to slap yourself. It sounds like very lovey-dovey and sweet. But you know what she is about. You know what type of woman this girl is. She's a classic gold digger, wannabe trophy wife. She's not a traditional woman. She's not lovely. She's not feminine. She's not giving. She doesn't have any good traits. She may be pretty, but it's rotten inside. I was so happy that she called me that, and I replied, "Hurry up, my love." Hours passed by, and I said one final goodbye message, and thank you for everything. She replied with, "I'm sorry I couldn't make it, and I don't want you to see me. Sorry for everything." I asked when did she have a new boyfriend, but she said she has none. I also asked when did she lose feelings for me, and she said about 6 months ago. More like years ago, back in high school, when she was allowing that guy to court her. I told her that she could have said it to me earlier, and her reply was, "I tried to love you the way I loved you before, but I can't. because I'm sick of you and I'm tired of you. That's nice. I don't know if she's gaslighting me, but because of that statement, I blame myself for a long time. She's definitely making you out to be the villain because she knows you're a sweet guy. She knows you've done nothing wrong other than stay with her. And she's not right for a relationship. Because she's too damaged to leave healthily, she's just going to do just like her mother did to her dad. Line up someone else. So in her mind, she has to make you out to be evil to justify to herself what she's done. Because deep down, she knows it's wrong. I begged her not to leave, but I'm powerless. Then she dumped me and I said, goodbye, my love. I immediately stopped contacting her because that's what others recommend to get your ex back. You stop contacting her to heal and move on, not to get your ex back. The only time you should ever want to get your ex back is if you split because there's horrible fighting or there was like a misunderstanding. But yet, despite that, compatibility, chemistry, there's been faithfulness on both sides and you've got a history together. Then it's okay to, go no contact to heal, and then if there's a connection and she misses you, she may come back. But when there's been cheating involved, you go no contact to heal and you run. This woman deserves nothing else from you. You're way too good for her, way too kind for her. I remember saying, I will take you back, my love. I was crazy back then. Yeah, you were. But obviously, you were emotional. That's understandable. It's your first relationship. I was a mess during the first week and I still couldn't believe that she had done it to me. And that she did what she did. My family slapping me on the face and said, here are the evidence and you're still not believing what happened. Your family is wise and they care about you. And they're telling you the truth. Luckily, I have a supportive family. Obviously, you're a good guy, you got morals because you came from a normal, healthy home. I have a supportive family, and after the first week I started improving myself. Working out, learning how to ride a bike, attending church, reconnecting with my best friends, and reading self-help books. Good. Because of your videos, Christian, I started to realize that I cannot let her disrespect me. And it's never my fault. I realized that she fed me with fake affection for 6 months, and I remember asking her if she really meant I love you, and she responds with yes. I know I'm not the perfect boyfriend, but after giving loyalty and love, this is all I get. I know I deserve better. Now you're talking. She betrayed you at the end with her boss. I mean, she was just finding ways to chill you with her, emotionally build a connection with a guy at school, then it's a teacher at high school, and now it's her boss. I mean, what's she going to go for next? The CEO of a company? I mean, she's going to just try, isn't she? But look at you. I know I deserve better. Now you're talking. Got your balls back. So before she blocks me, I did it first. Good. Then I started to regain my power. Now you're talking. I remember their messages were dull. It's all about how they love each other and sex. I'm far greater than that because when we talk, there was laughter and our conversations have stories. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm regaining my confidence and working on my self-esteem. And all in all, I stopped blaming myself. Good, see, she's made progress. Instead of telling myself that she fell out of love, I say she found new love while with me. True statement. Because it's true. I remember the way back in April this year when I caught her talking with another man. Ooh, so there was another one I forgot about. So there was this was the fourth then. So the boss Domingo was the last straw, number 4, but there was someone else. She never changed. She never changed. She remained the same one. And so in April this year when I caught her talking with another man, but she said, we aren't talking about anything. And she deletes the messages before I could read anything. There's so many guys, I definitely forgot this because his email was back from November. There's so many guys that she's entertained that I can't include all of them. What else do I need to add, fellas? Right now I'm focusing on my studies and I'm so much more motivated. I'm self-reflecting and listing what I could improve so I'm prepared for the next relationship. plan to stay single for 2 years though, but we'll see. Moral of the story, I kept choosing the blue pill and living fantasy when I should have chosen the red pill and faced reality. Feel free to share this story. If it's interesting enough, you can use my name. Thanks for being there, Christian. Keep posting videos. Well, I'd rather just keep your name private. I'm just so used to doing Jimmy. Except if I'm going to get an email one day from someone called Jimmy, which would be funny. But he did send me a follow-up email on the 11th of December, so I'm going to read that very quickly. So he said, it's almost 2 months now, Christian, since the breakup. I never talked to her since and have no plans in the future to do so. Jessica's family really has some big issues. Her mum and dad is mistreating her and using her as a way to get out of poverty. I remember what she said, that her parents told her that she should marry a rich man so they will become rich. Man, the whole family's like, they're all toxic. And I find it disrespectful and told her that she shouldn't do that. I don't know if her family loves her. Okay. Because when I responded to him and I went back through his email, I told him, give me some more background information on her family and friends. And this is what he sent to me. So continuing on, he says, I don't know if her family loves her for what she is or what she can provide. She's hardworking and dedicated, but she has to ask for her family's love rather than them automatically giving it to her. Yeah, so she's trying to prove herself by working hard. Obviously, she doesn't come from a loving home. They withhold that. They don't give it out. So there's obviously issues with a family that are out of your control. It's not your responsibility to fix it. If she has her own traumas from her childhood, it's in her power to accept that, become aware, and then change it. During our senior year high school graduation, I brought my mum with me, and when I saw her, she has no one. She said that her family doesn't want to. I think she was the only student that didn't have a family member with her. So she feels abandoned and neglected. So she's using other strangers, other men to fill the void. Then she feels like she'll feel like she has any value. Which is why, looking at you, you're a good man, you're stable. You were peaceful. You were this tranquil guy. And you just wanted a stable, calm life. She never knew that. So she couldn't mix with you well. Because she came from a family of turmoil and chaos. Doesn't pair very well, does it? So a woman that's damaged can never accept or appreciate a good man. So I asked my mum if she could join her, and told her that I would be fine alone. And my mum agreed. See how good you were to her. And that's how she repaid you. Jessica later received her award with my mum. That's why my mum and dad were so mad at her, because she could have broke things with me in an honourable way, but she didn't. That's the important thing to remember. She didn't break it in an honourable way. Our relationship had some fights, but none lasted a day. I don't want to sleep knowing I was mad at her. I made lots of mistakes, but I always worked on it. The only mistake you made was staying with her. Other than that, you were a complete sweetheart to her. The relationship did go well even during the pandemic until April of this year. Regarding her friends during her first year in college, she became friends with a girl who also had a boyfriend but kept dating other men. Her friends, bad company, corrupts good morals. I never really thought of it as a bad thing, but now I know it's definitely a red flag. This friend is also flirting with my professor, and the professor was really a bad man. He said awful things to me, but I didn't fight back since I was really weak at the time. You were definitely right. Like attracts like. Well, thank you. My best friends are awesome. After years of not talking to them, we still have this connection like before. And because of them, I'm healing fast, and I'm forever thankful for them. Jessica was my first girlfriend, so I didn't really know much on what to look out for in a woman. Your YouTube channel really helped me, and next time I know what to look out for. This experience is definitely a great lesson for me, and I'm glad it happened. It's a win-win situation for me. There's some more growth on his part. So if you have any questions about my email, free to ask. Thank you. Yeah, so that's his story in a wrap, and that was the update he gave me, just a little bit more about his ex's family and the friend she met at college. So guys, anytime when you're courting, when you're in a relationship, you haven't tied the knot, you have not made the ultimate commitment. If your woman, or ladies, if your man shows you that they are going to betray you emotionally or physically, you disqualify them immediately. You cannot have a committed monogamous relationship with an individual that does not value loyalty. Forget about it. And look at what happened to this young man. This Jimmy, so sweet, so kind, so loving, did everything for her. And look how many times she betrayed him, until she left him and monkey bunch for her boss. And he was kind enough to set up, give her, find her a place to get a job. And then from then on, the whole part-time job thingy. And look how she turned out. But she remained the same. She wasn't lying about that. Her actions showed you really who she was. He couldn't see it, but that was his first relationship. He didn't get her pregnant. He didn't end up marrying her, moving in. He's finishing his engineering degree. He can start fresh, prepare himself. And a good woman will be very grateful to have a kind man like him. So with that said, guys, if you are in a situation that's similar, have the strength to walk away. Now, that's the first long video of the year, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Anybody who wants to send me an email, whether it's to talk to me privately, to book a coaching call, to share their story, feel free to reach out to me. With that said, I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.